And Lisa will not be attending, and I will be hosting the chairmanship position.
Are we expecting the applicant to be with us?
Hope so.
Mr. O'Connor is here. I can see him. I can bring him in
Okay.
as soon as the board is ready.
Hello, Alice. You want to come in? If you're good with it.
Hi, Jeff. Oh, Turner.
Sorry, my puppy saw me. I had to open the gate and let her in the room.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, well. When she's not being a puppy, she's very sweet.
You're always sweet when there's someone else's puppy.
That's right.
Well, she's actually very nice and she's relatively well behaved given her age.
Well, then she's doing better than most of us. Okay, looks like Miss Evans is coming in. Bill's still here. I think let's give Kendra a second and we'll be ready to start.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
Do we have Ken Morrow?
He didn't respond in any shape or form, whether
Okay.
he would be here. He was
Okay.
aware of it. He got the link.
Okay, so it's quarter after, and we have a quorum. I'm Bill McBride, and I'm going to be acting chair for this meeting. We have one application to review, and that's for 52 Heatherhurst. And they are represented by Mr. O'Connor, is that correct?
I believe so. Do you want to make a motion to open the meeting first?
I'll make a motion to open this meeting. It's March 3rd. And we have a quorum, and would you take roll call, please?
Sure. Mr. Pollock seconded. So we'll go member Pollock,
Here.
member Searle,
Yes.
member Evans,
Yes.
Chairperson McBride.
Yes.
Motion passes. I'm going to allow the applicant to come into the meeting.
Before we start this meeting, I have to ask the question, does anybody wish to recuse themselves from this, from 42 or 52 Heatherhurst?
I do
For any-
not.
Member Evans, I do not.
Member McBride, no. Anybody else?
Nope. Nope. Good.
Member
Okay.
Pollock said no, so we're
Okay,
good to go.
good. Okay. As I said, we have one review to do, and we'd like the applicant to present their application for 52 Heatherhurst for window replacement. Mr. O'Connor, if you would, please describe what you'd like to do.
Sure, I'd like to replace my windows at 52 Heatherhurst with composite windows by Anderson Renewal. I did send a follow-up letter, a 2-page letter to the building inspector, who said he forwarded it to the board, where I made several comments about precedent from the board for allowing replacement of windows in post-war homes. And you have the evaluation from Mr. Held who was the board identified expert, who recommended replacement of my windows when he came for evaluation. So I'm not sure what more you would like from me at this point. I'm happy to talk more or not.
I think we have everything that you just described, including Mr. Held's recommendation and his review. And I open it up to the board. We're talking about replacing some 20 windows. That's every window in the house. Is that correct?
It's not every window in the house. We have an addition on the back of our house that was built after the original house was built. We're not replacing those windows. We're not planning on that. And then there's a couple other windows. They're small windows that we're not planning on replacing, but the significant majority of the windows in the house we would like to replace. Yes.
Okay. And my understanding is the windows that exist now are wood windows. And according to Mr. Blake Held, in significant disrepair and not really repairable. They are wood windows. We're talking about a post-war home built in the early 60s, I believe. And you want to replace those 20 windows that are wood with a composite window. The windows would be, to my understanding, exactly the same size, dimension, style, and panels and louvers throughout each window. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. From the street, they should. I mean, maybe with a really trained eye, you could tell the difference, but certainly for a lay person, I don't think they would be able to tell that there's a difference. They're, I guess the vernacular is 8/8, maybe. But anyway,
Yes.
we're going to replace them with the same look windows, 8/8 throughout the home. That's correct.
Respectfully, this applicant's come before the board a number of times. I think we've seen the third-party review. We know that these windows are not really repairable and that they do not contribute to the architectural significance of this home. I think it's time. I'd like to call the vote, Mr. Chair, if that's possible.
Yes, by all means, but I want to make sure nobody else has any questions they'd like to ask on the board.
I have no objection to the window replacement, given the given our guidelines, given the discussion about windows, replacement windows in post-war homes, post-World War II homes in our on page 95 of our guidelines. I do have one specific question for the applicant, however, and a comment. Let me make the comment first. Mr. Connor, I think you've been exceptionally patient with the board. I'm sorry that your application came in at a time when the board was in the midst of developing a new protocol for window replacements. And I'm afraid you've suffered because of that. And for my part, I apologize for that. My question is, the muntins, the dividing grills, if you will, in the windows, are they applied? How are they represented? Are they applied to the inside? Are they applied to the outside only? Are they installed in between the two panes of glass in the new windows? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't know the answer. I think the very first meeting of the board, the the fellow from Anderson Renewal met with the board and provided the application with a description of the windows. I don't know the answer to your
Okay,
technical question.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't have that original application in front of me at the moment. It was a question. We have approved this particular type of window in the past, and I agree with Ms. Evans. I'm in a position to feel comfortable voting.
Okay, this is Bill McBride. I'm going to make a motion to approve the application based upon the fact that this is a post-war war home and Article Section 5A of our design review guidelines support replacing windows in post-war homes with a composite material, even though the existing material may be wood, but in disrepair. These windows there would be 20 windows in the house that will be replaced. Do I have a second to this motion?
I'll second. Searle second. Dorothea.
Okay, roll call vote. Trustee, Member Pollock,
Yes.
Member Evans,
Yes.
Member Searle,
Yes.
Chairperson McBride,
Yes,
motion passes.
Thank you all.
congratulations. I'm sorry this
Bye.
took so long.
Yeah, it was a process, but I definitely appreciate the board meeting with me for the special meeting. And there was one other special meeting you guys sort of went out of your way to meet with me. So I appreciate the time of the board. It wasn't an easy process, and it was there were some hoops, but I'm glad it worked out, and I appreciate your time today. So thank you.
Well, again, I appreciate your willingness to bear with us and go through the process. You were the very first applicant who was asked to go through this process, and sad to say, being the first is rarely a good thing in a situation like this.
Well, I'm glad there's a process in place, and I hope it's a workable process for others moving forward.
Yes.
It should be.
Mr. Connor, just follow up with Steve on your building permit and everything else for the windows.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good day or good evening. Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
This is the only thing that this board is going to review at this point in time. So I make a motion to close this meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Member Pollock,
Yes.
Member Searle,
Yes.
Member Evans,
Yes.
Chairperson McBride,
Yes.
meeting adjourned. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank
You-
you. See you guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.